Hey, how you doing? 3 people were watching, and I just emailed Fester. In fact, I'm going to email this to John too. My goodness. Yeah, I admit I was late to the ball game on this. I said, hey, lots of things going on, but hello, everybody. It is game 1. I mean, it's exciting already, man. You know, Cowboys are bit slapping the Eagles, which is something I did not foresee. But you know, they're pissed off. I admit it. They're pissed off. Raider, no, I'm in South Carolina, brother. I'm in South Carolina. I will see y'all up in Providence tomorrow. So that's where I will be. I'm trying to get to my buddy. Well, there's Fester. There he is. So Fester's all happy and good looking. Yeah, he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. That's how I talked to him. That's how I talked to Steve's dog. Actually, I don't. But Fearless is here. Yeah, see you Saturday. It'd be great. Cooper quit on us again. Yeah, you know what? He quit on Pete. I want y'all to know that. He quit on Pete. And the reason why I think that is because he probably figured out, oh, this is what Pete wants us to do? And this is the offense that Chip Kelly's running? And I got to perform? And I'm 31 years old? I don't need the money that bad. I mean, stupidly, but it was stupid. I'm trying to send this to my buddy, because 1 second here, Tom. I'm trying to find my buddy. Let's see here. There it is. I'm gonna paste it there. So yeah. So both Johnny has and obviously T3 sports guy Raider Fester's here. I'm looking up at the screen. Smith had the first down, and he does not have first down. Now he has first down again. I'm gonna bring him a boy, and I'm gonna get a YouTube strike. Because you can hear actually fuck Chris Collinsworth. You don't want to hear him. You don't want to hear Chris Collinsworth. So that's fine. I'm just saying it's like he is such a what's the word I'm looking for? He is such an arse. Hey, and also we are joined on the 3-way. That sounds kinky. I'm going in the middle though. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the middle. Okay. From left to right, we have T3 Tom Jones, aka Raider Fester. On the middle, you got the old ugly guy. That's me. And then you have Johnny Souza, aka Mad Bomber. And make sure you go to Mad Bomber Podcast on YouTube. Gentlemen, how you doing? I want to get a sound check so make sure that I can hear you.
Good. I hear you perfect.
Okay.
Good on this end.
What about sir?
Good on this end too, Jay. Good on. Yeah.
Okay, good.
We're good.
Yeah, because I wanted to hear your mics as well, because I know that sometimes Tom had the earbuds in, and then he said he couldn't hear me and all that other stuff. But yeah.
How you doing, Cap?
And I'm doing okay, man. Well, now that I've taken some Tums. That's not an indictment. We had a great dinner. Nice. We had a great dinner. It's just that I have not been feeling. I guess it's one of those moving or traveling things. So I just had to pop the Tums, but always taking care of well here with Hollywood and Mrs. Hollywood. So again, hats off. Well, definitely hats off to them. Fester, how you doing, sir?
I'm great. Not festering tonight. I just we had a back to school night, so I just came rolling in. Now I did see that you didn't get the memo, but John and I have the same color shirt on tonight, so you actually did get the memo.
Who's that?
Well,
That's
if you're if you're gonna do a fucking wardrobe thing, I need to know about it.
well.
Okay?
Well, I guess we all
If you're
need to
gonna
go
do
to
a
Vegas.
wardrobe thing,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. Just,
But
I
no,
will
Jack, you got me
half.
for an hour tonight. You've got me for an hour, so I can be on until about 10:05 Eastern.
Me too.
So
We're good.
Okay.
yep. Okay.
And actually, I got to get the fuck out of the house here at 6:00 in the morning.
Oof.
Like, oh my god, early.
Okay.
We'll see if anybody has anything. And again, I wanted to talk to people, but so basically, because I only got you guys for an hour, I'm not gonna do a lot of discussion. And I'm gonna let y'all carry the bulk of this, and I'm gonna put things out. Even though you're not festering, I know that you are festering with bile, like I am, as Hertz rolls out and gets
First
first
of all,
down.
Jack, I'm going to interrupt you, and I don't know why in the world you think that Chris Collinsworth is so horrible, because just listening to him is it's the most insane thing on television to hear Chris Collinsworth try to do color commentary and then be cheesy at the same time.
That's pretty spot on. Fuck you, man. I don't want to hear that shit on my program, man. That's just horrible. I'm gonna do my impersonation of what is it? The big round mound of rebound. It's terrible. It was terrible.
Terrible.
Your impression was spot on, but that's terrible to have that on the show. So I'm gonna try not to have that, but. John, any first things?
Let's just all agree that we should never do that again.
Please, yeah. And you know that I'm a Gator, but I cannot stand that motherfucker. I mean, he's one of the few Gators. Him and Hernandez. Oh, and I'm going to say something else. The Pouncey brothers. These
guys. Why? There's got to be a story.
There is a story. Because when they were at Florida, I'm not going to say, I don't want to be held for libel, because I don't want somebody to say that he said without due.
Right. I like that.
But there was a lot of things that the Pouncey brothers and Hernandez did in Florida that I shan't say else.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Well,
good evening, Dory. Good to see you, sweetheart.
I like the Pouncey brothers, the way they play football.
Yeah.
I
mean,
they're
mean,
they're
nasty, and they do well.
Yep. Yeah, they were definitely.
They're about as. I can't say, in my opinion, they were about as classless as Jalen Carter getting thrown out of the game before the first snap. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I'll tell you, because there was a lot of Raider fans that are probably a little happy about that, because I know I wanted Jalen Carter before Tyree Wilson, and I wasn't mad at and I wasn't mad when we got Tyree Wilson, because it scared me where he played and how he played, but he was dominating so much that I figured he was going to be viable, and I believe this year he's going to make a great jump. But Jalen Carter was somebody, he was just Warren Sapp 2.0.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, if you're still watching the contest with the sound, let us know when he starts mentioning Mahomie and the Chiefs. Right now I haven't heard anything. It's 7 minutes into the second quarter. You know that they're going to do it soon.
Yeah, they got a pimp tomorrow night, so for sure.
You got it. So, gentlemen, I got to ask, the elephant in the room, other than me, is There was a oh, that's so easy. Was there a defense on the field?
No, they that's where they hurt. That's where Micah Parsons comes in right there. Big time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Mike is rushing him and healthy, I'm going to say that, and healthy.
Yeah,
that's where they're going to miss him because they don't have anybody else that can do that.
No, and their linebackers are thin too. That defense is going to be a sieve.
Yeah. Well, Dallas is still winning. They're winning as of right now.
Okay, well, we can always put our again. Unfortunately, I don't have a dog in this fight, so my betting. I don't start betting. I bet NFL probably right around October. And I don't ever bet early because I just want to see the teams separate because I'm, pretty anal about who I bet on and stuff like that. And right now it's just separation time. These games count though. These games count at the end of the year. These games count. So that's why this weekend is a huge game, especially for, it's an AFC team.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just found out I opened up my app today. I found out that I won't be able to bet for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, because you're going to be out of on those states that you can't. I won't pimp the app that I use because in Cali we're one of those states that you can't either. So I have another one that I use. But again, these guys are calling me every day, offering me the world, and I'm just like, look, I told you, if you piss me off, you're not going to get my business. Call me October 1st, and then we'll talk. So.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I can, if I wanted to. I've already made the bets that I wanted to, which was, the over/under for the Raiders, that if they get to the playoffs.
What'd you get, 6.5?
I got 6.5, so I bet 7.
Yeah, good bet. That's a great bet. That's a great, we talked about on my podcast. If everybody's healthy, that's a fair bet. Fair bet.
Yeah.
And again,
Fester or Professor Fester, he's just so intent on what I want to hello. I'll be like hello, like that. I just want to make sure I'm not losing. Yeah.
No.
But I was going to say and thank you, Mike, for bringing it back to what I was going to say. Let's talk Amari Cooper. Let's talk somebody who quit. He quit he didn't want to work for Pete Carroll. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it came down to. He's like, I'm pretty set. I was like, he came in late in the game, and I think he kind of forgot what it means to actually get into football shape, what it means to, actually work. And Pete's he ain't gonna take any of that. So,
well, Pete wanted him. This wasn't.
They don't need to pick up. Go ahead, John.
I don't think he was a Pete guy though. I don't think Spytech was in on him. From what I could I don't know anything. I don't, but just I think he was a Pete guy. I think Pete wanted him for Thornton, and it just seems like he was out of shape. I heard the Kenny Pickett interview where they were working out all week and working out all weekend, but he did look a little chubby around the belly part. And you said it, Cap, last week, and you said it before, and say it again. You want Amari Cooper when he's interested, and do we know if he was going to be interested or not? You thought that with him coming back, that would be motivated. He said he wanted to retire a Raider. Well, he got his wish. He retired today as a Raider. I just don't know that he had anything in the tank that was going to be anything more than just a protege for Thornton.
Yeah, which is, you know what? We can still have that if he's interested in doing that job. If he would like to stick around, he can still do it. But he's like, fuck that.
Yeah. I don't believe his work ethic involves that kind of stuff. I think, who do you think, question of the day is, who are they going to bring up from Are they going to practice squad Alex Bachman up, or will they re-sign Philip Dorsett? Or will they re-sign Philip Dorsett?
No. I mean, I would bring up between Bachman or Jackson. Okay, I bring up Bachman because Bachman is the what is it, the vet that actually can do those things. He can teach because
Bachman is more game ready. And I think when they brought Cooper in, I think Pete Carroll was looking for somebody who was game ready. And again, I think one of the reasons why they brought him in is because Jack Besh had not really progressed to the extent that they believed that he should have as a second round pick. Now, in the ideal sense, Cooper could have come in and had some run early while they were still getting Besh up to speed. I don't think Amari Cooper was ever going to be a long-term solution just for this season, even. I think he was just going to bring him along until Besh could really take that mantle. And again, Cooper is another example of a long line of athletes who, once they get to the end of their career, they think, okay, I can just step in and get one more paycheck and I don't have to do shit. Excuse my French, but that's what happened. And as great of an athlete as Amari Cooper was over the course of his career, then he not only did he not have any more left in the tank, he didn't have any more left in his gut.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah,
said. I just
and that's why I said
I'm excited.
He got a big dose of 2 weeks? Has it been 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, he figured out, man, I gotta work.
You talk about practice.
Yeah.
Talking about practice, not a game.
Not only that, you're talking about being coached by one of the most enthusiastic guys, not just in the NFL, but in all of football. And that's not Cooper's style.
No, he's
he don't want a rah-rah guy. He had problems with Gruden. Gruden was a rah-rah guy, and Cooper couldn't handle that.
Yeah, that's why he got shipped out. I agree with that 100%. I just believe that with Thornton is really, I mean, watching film on him in practices, they just put out an extended film on him. And man, when you're that tall and you're that fast and you have those kinds of hands, because his hands were a little suspect again, I didn't watch him enough. I watched him last year, but just looking through all of his draft previews, they were talking about there's a possibility that he had a little bit of a hand problem. I haven't seen it at all yet. I did mention I did see in the preseason just a bit that I think he needs to get a little bit more handsy on his routes. I think he needs to use his hands a little bit more. He wasn't as strong with his hands, and maybe that'll come. Or maybe I just didn't see full circle. I mean, again, we saw in the preseason, we probably saw a quarter of football in 3 games out of the guy. So we're going to see full sample on Saturday, on Sunday.
Give some proper gloss. Well, I want to say something, and I want to give some gloss to somebody that actually deserves it on this one. Navman, Bob, who is a Vols fan, who lives up there in Tennessee and knows a shit ton about the Vols. And he said the best thing that you could say is that if you look at Thornton's tape, he wasn't as progressed as you might want because he had a shitty quarterback throwing over his head last year with Iliama or whatever the fucker's name was.
Yeah.
Hooker was a decent quarterback. I'm not sure if they had any time together, but Iliama, if I'm blowing the fucking name, I apologize, but the last quarterback that they had, which they shipped out to UCLA, by the way, he was not a good quarterback for Thornton. And like I said, Navman said that a lot of the times that you say that he was doing bad, it was because the quarterback was overthrowing him. Okay? If the quarterback's overthrowing you, your stats are not going to be great because, you're not going to get those catches.
Well,
Oh
they
yeah,
just said he didn't
Nico.
run the
Right.
mid. He did. They were talking about him not being able to run the crossing routes and the mid routes. That they didn't see a lot of that. Again, we don't know what the offense was. We don't know what Tennessee was not like somebody that I was watching all the time. So I can't honestly say. But watching a ton of film on him, seems like he was running that sideline route that Gino really loves to see him run, and I think that's going to be
Yeah.
his marquee route right there. What that route does also is it's going to open up that space for Genty and Bowers. That's a beautiful thing
Yeah.
because you're bringing a guy down the field almost every time, and if you're not getting safety help, you're going to throw to him every time because he's a big guy.
Totally agree with you, and
Right.
I think that's one thing that Chip Kelly saw when in bringing these people in. You have to have somebody who's going to stretch the field and can stretch the field every time. As you mentioned, that's going to open up the outside of the backfield quite a bit for Genty. That's going to open up the middle for Bowers. Not to mention Mayer, who I think is going to have a bigger year this
I
year.
agree.
I think he's going to put forth a lot more production that I thought he was going to be able to do his rookie year. So I say look for a lot of big things in him. We didn't really need Cooper, to be honest with you. I mean, it would have been nice to have him come in as a role and step up, but I don't think we really needed him. If you've got Dante and you've got Jacoby Myers, who in my estimation is one of the best number twos in the league. If you have him as a
Yep.
number two, he could easily be a number one
Hmm.
for a lot of teams. But I think you bring along Jack Besh and a couple of others. I think Alex Bachman stands a good chance to get bumped up again from the practice squad because I think he's game ready. Now down the
Yeah.
line, maybe you bring Jackson up. Part of that I think depends on whether Bachman can stay healthy or not.
Well,
So
and
if
and
we
and
Right.
if and if Bachman is going to play special teams, because that's another thing that Jackson would do over Bachman is play some special teams. You get another special teams player. We'll see what that see how that rolls out. Where nobody, if anybody gets hurt on special teams, then all of a sudden Jackson becomes a little bit more viable because he can play a little special teams. But when you just said Mayer, that guy's going to be the decoy cream de crop because who do you cover? And at some point, you're going to put one of your weakest guys on Mayer because you have to. And that guy's, well, he's a big body, and when he gets the ball, unlike Bowers is bam bam, he's up the field. Mayer's ready to hit somebody and hit somebody right up the gut. Then that's scary. If Chip Kelly is the Chip Kelly, please stand up, like we hope he is. He's going to be able to use all those weapons, and then all we have to do is give him time, and then that's a conversation. Hopefully, we don't have in the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah. Well, I was saying now, is that the Byron Young that we were supposed to draft? Or was that the one?
Yes, we were supposed to draft that Byron Young. Yes, I
Yeah.
guess. I guess. I would love to have been a fly in the. I would have loved to have been a fly in that draft room if that really was an F up. If that was like, oh man, that's the wrong dude. It's like, well, he's ours now.
Yeah.
Because
And it's funny.
I as
Good.
weird, because I'm a weirdo, so I went back and looked to see if I could find anything like from draft room Raiders that night to see if anybody was like giving him the stink eye or anything, but didn't see anything.
Mhm.
Yeah. I actually was talking up the one that we did draft because he was because people were saying, hey, we needed Carter, and we ended up getting Byron Young and he was from Alabama. And I said I looked at his stats, and stat wise, he was okay. He ain't Jalen Carter. I get it,
No,
but
no,
comparable stats for being an SEC school, which
sure.
to me is definitely pro ready, and he was a very important part of the Alabama defensive line. He didn't suck, but I said, okay, well, we didn't get Carter, but we got this guy, and I didn't know about the fuck up, without saying anything else on it until it came out, and I'm like, well, shit, don't I look stupid now? Because that wasn't even our
Nobody knew.
guy.
Nobody knew.
But yeah, but oh well. Well, he almost had an interception.
Well, there's another guy that we drafted that year, Chris Smith, the guy from Georgia.
Yes.
And I was never in love with him because I do remember him playing well, But again, I know we're getting, maybe I'm shifting gears a little too quickly here, but I I told you Palamau, Palamau, Palamau,
You're close. Pull him out.
Palamau,
You're getting there.
Palamau
Pull him out.
scares me. He, I'm never going to say Stuart Schwaggart on your show, but I'm going to just say that Palamau scares me. It seems like he's always a step behind, and I guess he must be better than Marcus Epps because Marcus Epps got cut by the Patriots, and I didn't think I know he's small anyway, and that's not a Pete Carroll guy.
Sorry, we had a bit of a freeze, so apologies there.
Okay, no problem. But I just feel like away from getting off the Mari Cooper thing.
It was a lightning freeze. Okay, so
Oh,
can you guys hear?
I can hear you.
We're getting a little bit of weather here, so apologies there.
Yeah,
it's Florida.
Yeah. Well, it ain't Cabo. Did you see Cabo? Cabo looks like a river right now.
Yeah.
So, but back to Palamau. He scares me. That's why I'd like to see Jabril Peppers and get in there, and then they could really do some stuff with Jabril Peppers and Palamau play too high with them too. I saw a great article. Tristan Kuhn from Twitter had a great article on how they could use him, and I was wondering what's happened. I mean, nobody's grabbed him, and if you remember, the Patriots were gonna try to cut loose Duggar too, and they didn't cut loose Duggar either.
Yeah, I don't know. And you mentioned
and people were saying that if the Raiders were going to do something, I'm sorry. Go ahead there, Tom.
I was just going to say you mentioned Chris Smith a minute ago, and I was really excited when he was drafted, and I thought surely that he was either going to move into a starting role or be a really good key rotational piece, and then just didn't hear much from him. I mean, I saw him playing college, and I thought, well, this is going to be really a dynamic guy, but just didn't see it. And Jack and I have talked numerous times about Dalton Wagner. I was really excited about Dalton. Wagner.
Yeah.
And somebody with that kind of size, could really just be just a behemoth on that line, but just never did anything. I mean, the Raiders, I think, have had this happen almost like an Achilles heel, where they'll pick up somebody who just looks like they have all the measurables and all the talent, and for whatever reason, they're just not able to step up once they hit the field.
Yeah, he was slow in preseason last year for sure, but he was a good special teams guy, and that kept him around. So I know, man, we haven't had a safety since Woodson left. It's been kind of slim pickings out there, and I mean, not from not trying. I mean, they did try to get Epps for sure and bolster up there, and then Trevon Merrick, I believe he was playing his best football last year, but he wasn't worth the money that he got. I mean. Anyway, I mean, I didn't think he was anyway. I thought he was making good adjustments, and he was decent ball hawking, but I think we're good with Jeremy Chin. I like Jeremy Chin a lot. He's been steady, and even in preseason and even at the practices where they show him, he puts his nose in there. He has no problem putting his nose in. Seems to be a ball hawk too.
No one game and one play shouldn't be the be all end all, but I never can get out of my craw the game back in 2023 when the Commanders now we're playing.
He dropped it. Oh.
Yeah, and he had the interception in his
dropped
arm,
it
in his hands. All he had to do was corral it and drop to a knee, and he had it. And again, that I think that was representative of the fact that a guy with a lot of talent, but he couldn't step up in the moment. He could not face the moment when the moment was on him. And from that point, he lost me. I mean, I thought, okay, he can have a good career. You can have a good career from here on, but when you do that, when the game is in your literally in your hands and you blow it, I mean, you only get so many of those.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke gave it to him. I mean, we handed it to him. I was in that end zone watching because where I stand in 246, and I was like, ah. And yeah, that was disappointing. But one guy that with Kelly, I'm having a hard time getting his name. They're so cool.
Caillou Blue.
Okay, so they're saying he's looking good in practice. Definitely hasn't transmitted to the games, preseason games. What did you guys see in preseason? I saw soft zone. I mean, I thought we were not going to be the soft zone. It almost looked like the Marcus Peters plays, and it looked like we were playing. Darian Porter was playing cover. He was playing man coverage, and the rest of the defense was playing soft zone. It was weird. Somebody said, well, that's how Patrick Graham runs his defense. He runs it that way. I have never seen that defense before. What are your thoughts? If you saw preseason and was kind of chewing the fat on the defense, it didn't look normal to me, and I'm wondering what they were running.
What I got the impression was, and going back and looking through some of the footage, I believe, and again, I could be totally
anything else in the comments section.
Okay. I
sorry,
could be totally
Tom,
off
sorry,
base.
Tom. There's a lag, and that's why I apologize for jumping in on.
No problem.
I need to figure out. I need to figure out in the audience what the lag is. If it's Tom, is it John? But I know that there's a lag, and that's why I don't want to walk and talk all over you. But please, if you guys are being heard, without issue, fantastic. I know that there's lag here where it's choppy for both of you guys, and I don't know. As our China, our weather person did say that the remnants of the Hurricane Lorena coming in and hitting some of the Carolinas right now. I just want to know if it's just me. It's not you, it's me. Well, I don't know if it's the you or the me. So that's why I'm if you guys can tell me who is choppy on thing, because if I'm the one that's always choppy, I'm just going to shut up and then let you guys talk. Seriously.
I think John and I are good. I think it's there in the middle. I think all that Florida weather is causing you havoc.
Yeah, I think so. You're going in and out. Yeah, so you're out right now.
Okay.
There.
It's not Florida weather. I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. You're in South Carolina. Okay. It's that coastal weather.
So
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just jump right back in, Jack. And if I talk over you, I apologize. But I could be way off base. But from what I saw with the film, it looked to me like Patrick Graham was running a very vanilla defense on the back end. And what he was doing is he was challenging the frontline players to go put some pressure. He was challenging the linebackers to go ahead and do the coverages in the middle. And things were really light on the side. Basically, what I think he was doing is he was challenging the corners and the safeties to see what they had. And not really worrying about it too much. If they got burned, it was just preseason. But I think he really wanted to see what kind of pressure could be generated by the guys up front. I think that's what he was more concerned with, and looking and seeing basically what the linebackers had as far as covering the middle. I think that was more the issue, because I think once we get into game situations, they'll pretty much lock down and change some of the cover two and single high looks that we're used to seeing. Because I'm like you, John. I don't recall seeing a lot of that was being run, but I know a lot of defensive coaches were running some vanilla defenses, particularly on the back end. So I don't think that they were playing it nearly as tight as they had during the regular season.
I hope so, because that was scary to see. I mean, it was like 2 yard in, 2 yard out, and then they were running with the ball. So, and Kelly looked horrible, and so did Porter. Both of them. Porter looked horrible,
Yeah.
and so that's kind of what I saw. It was just a little bit of too vanilla on the back end.
Yeah.
And
Well, plus they
but I
weren't
was
really getting much push either.
no, not at all.
They were getting some push early with Crosby and a couple of the guys first couple of series in all three of the games. But then once you took that out, I didn't see really a whole lot from Kuntz. To be honest with you, in any of the games that he played in, he was there. He had a little bit of push, but I didn't really see a great deal. I saw a little bit from Tyree, and I told Jack this and several times on the show. Tyree really is going to have to make his money this year. He's going to have to either take that spot away from Kuntz, and of course that would be to the detriment of the Raiders because they've already had committed to Kuntz all that money. So it's either going to be a detriment to Kuntz if he's able to take over that spot, or he's going to have to make his money by becoming that real dominant hybrid player that can play inside and outside and kind of create a name for himself that way. But this is going to be a make or break year for Tyree. He's going to have to really step up, this will be his last year in a Raider uniform.
Yeah, he's going to be playing DT. He's not going to be on the outside, I don't believe, unless there's a kind of a because you can bring in Snowden for Coons. You can bring in on third downs, and it looked like Tyree was getting good push on the guards in preseason, and because he's a bull rusher, he doesn't have any swim move. He doesn't have a rip move. He's not really athletic with his hands. Other than he's just strong, and he's up to 275 this year. So I believe that
Yeah,
he's
what
going
they
to.
were go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
What they were talking about is a kind of almost a three pass rusher defensive line. So you have Tyree lined up in the middle, but then making it so that almost he from the middle and Max kind of come together. And
Yeah,
then hopefully Kuntz coming in to clean up either on the back end or if the quarterback gets flushed out of the pocket, seeing that pressure coming from Wilson slash Crosby, flushes out to the other side and then gets trapped by Coombs. So again, it's a different defensive scheme, but it's one that again I think Tyree Wilson has the skill set to do, which would give you pretty much three pass rushers and for the first two downs. And I'm not sure whether they would do that all the time on the first two downs, or whether they would just bring it in on a third down situation. Again, there's lots of options they could do. Um, I think there's a lot of different directions this Patrick Graham defense can go.
I think it depends on Tyree. If he's because you're gonna have, and again it's gonna be you're gonna have Crosby, Butler, Tyree, and Coons out there, for the most part. And then you got, I believe that Adams is going to be going to the weak side because I believe he's just going to be a blitzing linebacker. I believe that's going to be his thing. He's going to have a lot of TFLs, and they're going to try to make him bite on some screens and stuff. But for Tyree, I think he's great on the inside because he can use his bull rush and he has that good movement, lateral movement, one side to the other. He can dominate a guard and Butler on the other side. And it's going to be interesting to see if they put Butler and Crosby together, if they put Tyree and Crosby together. And usually Crosby's lined up on the left side, so and then Kuntz is on the right. So we'll see if that changes. I mean, I've seen a little bit of a variation on it during preseason, but again, it's preseason. And then Snowden, I really like Snowden. The only thing I hate about Snowden is that he just goes straight to the quarterback. He doesn't to get his outside contained sometimes is left to be desired. So, but I think that's kind of, I mean, tomorrow night at my show, I'm definitely going to be breaking down the linebackers. And what I did see from the linebackers in the preseason was they bit on the play fake, and then they went right over the top on him. Devin White did almost exclusively in the Seattle game each time,
Um,
and and
I
that's just
saw I
that's
saw a
just
lot
one
of
game.
Yeah, I saw a lot of similarities when I saw Devin White doing that. It kind of reminded me a lot of Divine Diablo. Diablo could be in a position to make a play, but a lot of times you were reading the name on the back of his jersey.
Yep.
Uh, and that was the complaint I always had with Corey Littleton. It's like I always knew who was there, not by the number, but by but the name on the back of the jersey, because that's what you
Yep.
always saw.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, um, yeah, I mean, again, I think that the linebackers, I'm going to go over it heavily tomorrow night on my podcast because there's four of them. You know, Pratt is. I mean, I went back and read a ton on Pratt, and Pratt's the Cincinnati's fans were just love him or they hate him. He's like a Derek Carr. It's like all he ever
Right.
tries to do is strip the ball, and he lets a guy run 5 yards stripping the ball, and then guys are, oh, he makes plays when it counts. You know, he's a playmaker, but their defense wasn't something to be desired. Landon Roberts, Jesus, I have a video of him just blowing up one of the guards for the Chiefs and then making a tackle. This guy's always running downhill. I think he's going to be as good or just or better than Spillane. I wasn't a big Spillane guy. I always thought that he got caught up in the wash.
Mm.
He was kind of small. And sometimes you'd even see him going sideways into the runners, you know, and it was a good thing he had a good D line because he was kind of small for being an inside linebacker. He was tough, and I know again he's another guy where you love him and the guys I talk to, they're like, I agree with you. He gets lost in the wash, but Diablo was just A, never healthy, and B, just always a step behind. He really wasn't. He really was never a linebacker, in my opinion.
Oh,
And not at all. He had flashes of good games, but he was brought for Travis Kelce, and he never covered Travis Kelce. And Devin White did. If you watch the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, which I have highlights of that tomorrow night as well. I mean, he picked off the last pass against Mahomes when the game was out of reach anyway. And I
the
think that
main the
Devin,
main thing the main thing that they did, though, the Bucks defense, they got after Mahomes, and they got him off his game. And Mahomes is one of those quarterbacks that if you get to him early and you rattle him, he gets out of sync quick. I mean,
yep,
that Super Bowl game was over pretty quick.
yep,
I mean, they made a push there toward the end to try to come back, but once they got him out of his game, I mean, he was off.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and
for
and that's
sure.
what you have to do. You have to get a guy like that, and you have to pardon the analogy and the reference, but you got to put the foot on the neck,
Yep,
and you have to put it there early and keep it there. And
yeah,
and that's what Tampa Bay did in that Super Bowl. That's what Philly did in the Super Bowl against KC, and they got him
yep,
down.
yeah.
So that's something that the Raiders defense has not been able to do. Um, Divine Diablo had to play linebacker out of necessity. He was out of place. He never really was a fit there. Erob, I think, is the one thing that really I'm excited about with Erob is his motor. Now he has a great motor, and I think that's going to put him in position to make a lot of plays. So if you combine that with Max Crosby's motor, now all of a sudden you've got a guy in the front line and a guy in the middle that both have good high motors that can get there to the ball and can elevate people around them. Now, if they can both do that consistently, this Patrick Graham defense is going to be something special. But they're both going to have to do that.
Okay, let's see. No, Captain Jack gave us a gentleman. Be sure to let folks know what you see as the plans to the Winds versus the Patriots before you
Ah,
leave. Hold on, isn't this our show now? Captain Jack's gone.
it's our show. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
our show. It's not Captain Jack's
Okay.
show. It's our show, Spicoli.
Well,
Um,
well,
Go
John,
ahead.
you take it away. You take it away. I'll jump on
Oh,
your
okay.
back.
I like
I'll
that.
jump
I
on your
like
back.
that. You're gonna piggyback, and I dig that. The keys to the game. Okay, it's real easy. You have nine new players on defense for the Patriots. So you have to confuse them. There's no way that they're in midseason form with communication. So Chip Kelly needs to be very, I think they need to throw the ball to Ashton Genty. I think they need to get him out on the edges so it opens up the middle. I always believe that that can open up the run, and then Geno Smith can get Bowers involved. Those are definitely keys to those two guys. And I know it's going to be every game that we say something like that. But and that also with the going to the Raiders defense to the Patriots offense. I believe McDaniels is going to try to throw quick passes because he has offensive line is not proven, and our defensive line is proven. And the key for them to win the game is to win on third down, third and shorts. Um, Drake May can run; he can be a runner, but I don't believe that he's going to be trying to throw the ball downfield. Who's he going to throw to? Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs. I mean, I really don't. I don't know if they're going to trust their offensive line to do that. I think they're going to try to establish the run, and it's not going to work. And then they're going to try to throw those little swing passes out of the backfield or those slants that we've seen all preseason against the corners. So if we can get pressure on May and stop the run, it's not going to be a close game. I believe we're going to score more than 24 points this game. There's just too much firepower. And I mean, Fester, you've seen Raiders defenses that have been hodgepodge together early in the season, and it just gets it's just it becomes a track meet. And I don't think that I really don't think the Patriots can be in a track meet with the Raiders. They don't have the capabilities we have, and they're very very limited on their offensive line, and they're very new on the defense, and that's what I think the keys to the game are.
All right, now I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction about what's going to happen. I could be way off base, but here's what I see. The New England crowd is going to be hyped up. They are ready to go, and they think they've got the guy. They think they've got the coach who's going to bring them back to the promised land. So there's going to be a lot of excitement up there. They're ready to go. Some early pundits have already said that the Patriots are definitely not just probably, but definitely a playoff bound team. Now they're not going to win the division, but I've heard lots of people say that they're going to make the playoffs as a wild card. So that alone, I think, is a lot of enthusiasm there. Now, having said that, I know that McDaniels definitely, desperately wants to win this game, and he wants to bury the Raiders in every way that he possibly can. Here's what I think the Raiders need to do, and I think that if Pete Carroll looks at the game plan and he works with Chip Kelly on this, it can happen. I don't think it's going to be a real high scoring game. I think the final score is going to be 21-17 in favor of the Raiders, and that's only after the Patriots get a late touchdown to make it 21-17. I think that Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll need to take the air out of the ball. I think they need to go ahead and take that first offensive drive and make it be at least 10, 11 plays. They need to get in the end zone, obviously, but I think the more important thing is they need to keep McDaniels and the Drake May offense off the field. I think if the more they're able to do that, I think they're going to frustrate the Patriots, and I think that's where McDaniels is going to take some unnecessary chances with the play calling, and the Raiders can come up with one or two key turnovers. So I think that's where the undoing of the Patriots is going to be. So if the Raiders can control the ball, and that's something that John Gruden always used to say, we're gonna run the ball, we're going to control the offense. Now, Chip Kelly's going to be able to do that by not having to run all the time. He's got lots of different weapons and can open things up. But again, I think maintaining the ball, controlling the ball, and keeping the Patriot offense off the field is going to be the blueprint for success for this coming week.
I like it. I mean, I'll take yours too. How about that? Well, you're my 1A. I like that. I'm
Okay.
gonna I'm gonna go ahead since you did the score prediction. I'm gonna go score prediction. I'm gonna say it's going to be 31-17 Raiders.
Oh, I
And
love
and I
that.
and the only reason I'm saying that is I just believe that they have so much firepower, and usually the offenses are very ahead of the defenses. I'm watching Philly tonight and Dallas. It's what we're already at, what, 28 points already, and we're not at halftime. Are we at halftime yet? That just to me, the
Mm,
offense is always ahead of the defense. and
Yep.
until right around October. And I believe that Geno Smith is really in midseason form. I mean, again, it's practice. I get it. It's practice, but you know what? I think they ride that confidence wave. The Raiders ride that confidence wave to 4 touchdowns and a field goal. I believe that's going to be it. I'm seeing a big day from Genty. I think he's as advertised, and that's what I'm looking at. There's a 31-17, and I and I thought about it a lot. And I mean, don't ask me. I don't. My parlays suck half the year, so you can't. If you guys are out
Genty,
there and you got the Bet MGM app, don't bitch at me if you lose.
Genty looks primed and ready, but from what
Yes.
I've seen already, to be the OROY
Yep.
for the year. And again, I know it's early to predict things like that, but I am still pissed when I look back at 2019 and I look at all that Josh Jacobs did as a running back. Now, if the Raiders had just won one or two more games and been able to make the playoffs, there's no way you can deny him as an OROY. But
Right.
you can't give it to a guy, you can't give it to a quarterback who led his team to a 5-8-1 record. I don't care
Yes.
if he was the number one overall pick. That was the biggest BS call I've ever seen. I mean, nobody in their right mind would give the OROY, the offensive rookie of the year, to a first overall pick quarterback who goes 5-8-1. Just ridiculous.
I believe we agree on that for sure. I
Yeah.
well, I do believe that Genty's going to have a good game. Players to watch. I just read this I think it was Silver and Black Report. I'm all over it. But I don't read the TMZers, and we all know who the TMZers are. The ones that want to talk about the Kardashians and all that. I don't do that. I don't and especially in my podcast, I'm not throwing stuff on the wall and see what sticks. If it's not here, it's not news. But I did see that one of the guys I really like, and I was Silver and Black Report. I think it's Silver and Black Report. It's another one of Tristan Kuhn's thing. I'm a big Tristan Kuhn guy. I like the way he rolls. He said the number one Raider to watch this weekend is Jordan Meredith, and I was like, whoa.
Okay.
That was kind of a something, and he was going to see how he called the plays, the communication comes in, how the ball snapped, how him and Gino are, because that's the first line. That whole thing has to work. And are we jumping off sides? Is the receivers off sides? So they were talking about that, and I was like, wow, that's a great assessment. Jordan Meredith and Geno Smith, that's the first thing he's looking for, and I'm like, wow, that's a great. It makes a lot of sense because um, I don't know anything what's going on with the JPJ thing. Everybody's speculating, and I believe that I think that Carroll wanted to make everybody earn their spot, and I believe that he wanted that with JPJ as well because JPJ is definitely a beast. I know he's going to screw us at the wrong time with the 15-yarder after a first down, and he's gonna level some dude. I mean, even in Seattle, I watched that interception that Aiden O'Connell threw, and he levels one of the guys that's like 10 yards away from the guy who picked him up. He's gonna be that guy that's gonna give us that penalty, but he's a beast on every play.
He's got
And
that Richie Incognito edge to him.
yes, yeah, Steve Wisniewski guy, yeah, total. Both of those
Yeah,
guys, yeah, both of those guys. Conrad Dobler. I mean, he was like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's just gonna play till the whistle blows and then some.
And
So
I think the Raiders recognize that he's got too much talent as a mauler to put him in there at center. If you can put him next to Meredith, if Meredith is accurate at calling the signals and can get everything to Gino that he needs, and you can have JPJ right next to him as that mauler, then that's the best of all worlds. So I don't think it was a knock so much on JPJ as
I don't
just
think
the
either.
recognition of the coaching staff that, hey, we got something here that we didn't really realize that if we kick JPJ to guard where I think he's best suited,
I
and
agree.
and not lose anything with Meredith at center, then there you go. I mean, I
Yeah.
I thought long ago, back in 2022 when he was drafted, I thought that Dylan Parham by this time was going to be the starting center.
Yeah.
That was just my thinking. I thought, okay, they've got him now, but he can play all up and down the line. And I never was a big believer in Andre James.
Me
Uh,
neither. He was
I think
horrible.
that yeah,
Horrible.
yeah.
He was.
I
Oh,
I
Jack's giving us
think that
another.
they okay. It says hearing you apologies. Let me know when you're both ready to say bye. I'll pop in to end the show. So yeah, I can go about another 10 minutes.
Okay, me
I'm
too.
not sure about you, John. So
Yeah.
so Jack, if you can hear us, so we're good for about another 10. So just jump on
I
in
was
about
never
10
an
more.
Andre James. Andre James,
Yeah.
whenever there was a pass, whenever there was a sack, you would see him looking around for somebody to hit. And he was just horrible. And he was so horrible that the Chargers thought they
Mm.
stole him from us. And now he's their third string center. And I don't even know if he made the team. I haven't even checked yet to see if he made the team. Andre James was a horrible center, probably the worst center we've ever had as a in a Raider uniform.
John Gruden and Tom Cable dismantled one of the best offensive lines in the NFL at the time. I mean, I had jumped on several podcasts and was just when Rodney Hudson was up for re-signing every day, I kept saying, "Pay him, pay him,
Pay
pay him,
him.
pay him, pay him." Every day I said, "Pay him, pay Rodney Hudson, pay Rodney Hudson." And then once that was done, I thought maybe they would take care of Gabe Jackson as well. Now again, Rodney Hudson once he left, he didn't do a whole lot, but again, he was the anchor and he was the one everybody fed off of. But when they decided to go to let him go and then throw their eggs in the Andre James basket, I think Andre James was just a value signing. He was just somebody that they could ink and then move on ahead. But they destroyed that offensive line and then didn't do anything to build it back up. Threw away a pick on Leatherwood, and I mean they just did. It seemed like every move they were making, not bringing somebody in on the offensive line, despite the fact that the fan base and everybody was crying to bring in Isaiah Wynn or anybody,
Yeah.
bring in a
Yeah.
body
Yeah.
to help stabilize the line. It was negligent in my opinion. They just did what they. It's almost like they consciously and willfully did that to sink that offensive line. It was just awful. It's awful to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah, I know because even Osmalley when Osmalley left, and then Gruden put all of his eggs in the Trent Brown basket, and that was a
Yeah,
disaster. That was a total
yeah.
disaster. I mean, and at the time he was like, man, he's paying this guy he's paying a right tackle, left tackle wages, and and I always heard how great he was, and I saw flashes of it, but I tell you what, I still haven't seen anything close. He was never Colton Miller. He was never nothing close to Colton
No,
Miller. And
yeah.
yeah, I agree. I didn't, when on the Gruden 2.0, I wasn't happy with the fullback offense and just running in the A gap, the A gap, the A gap, the A gap. You didn't have the personnel for that. And it was just horrible. It was a tough, I go back to when we let Musgrave go. And I remember, because I talked to Musgrave at the
Mhm,
Denver game in 2022 because he was
mhm.
there with his Denver hat on, and I go, "Hey, what happened?" And he had a couple beers in him, and he had a beer in his hand, and he said it straight up said that um, oh my god, Jack Del Rio had an attitude, had a problem with him, and I'm like, really? And so I mean, I was like, hey, get this guy another beer. So what else? And I had this guy rolling for about a half an hour after the Raiders beat the Broncos,
Yeah,
and he was telling me, he's like, I go. At that point, too, we were looking for an offensive coordinator. There was like talk about putting. I go, would you come back? He goes, I'd come back in a minute. And I was like, because at that point, that was Derek Carr's. He got the best out of Derek Carr before Derek Carr went with his best friend Todd Downing, and
yeah, yeah.
but he talked about how Jack and the other dude, the offensive lineman Mike Tice, offensive line coach Mike Tice, were just
Yeah,
bullying him all the time. Even in he goes, I'd come into meetings and I would have my plans made, and they would change my plans totally before every game. And he goes, half the time I
yeah,
would just change them back. So
yeah, yeah.
that's too bad.
there was a lot of dysfunction there, and again, I was never a fan of Gruden 2.0. Love
No.
John Gruden to death as a soundbite. Loved him as an announcer. I loved him as a guy who loved the Raiders, but he was not the guy. As a
No,
coach
he's gone.
or as player development, he was never, in my opinion, the way to go. And all you had to do was look at what happened with Gruden after Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl. He drove that team into the ground, and
Yeah.
and and I took great pleasure always in the fact that the Raiders beat him and caused him to lose his job.
Yeah, that's
That,
right.
that's
You're
that's a,
exactly right. Yeah,
yeah,
he was chasing a quarterback that was never there. He went to with
yeah,
the Chris Sims, and then he went for what, like one of the Rippons. He was going through everybody and anybody.
yeah.
But anyway, well, hey, I am done for the night.
Me
Um,
too. Me too.
Fester, Fester, it's great meeting you. Here he
Thank
comes,
you. There he
handsome.
is.
Look at
There
that
he is.
handsome man,
There he is.
the
He's
full fledged.
coming in between us.
That was awesome as always.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, thanks so
Hey,
much.
gentlemen,
Look forward
I'm
to getting together.
sorry.
Don't be
Oh, no
sorry.
problem.
I can when y'all were talking. Yeah, I hear, but apparently everybody can hear y'all, which is why I'm just leaving it up to you. And I
Oh,
hopefully,
dude, no problem.
because I
You got it.
it's irritating. But you guys had a great show. I'm only going to be on
All
for a few
right.
more minutes because, like I said, I got to get up early in the morning
Okay.
to be
Well,
out there.
I will
JD, yes, I'm
definitely
riding the bus over to
I will definitely be on next Thursday.
the
Um,
Al Davis
I,
Brock thing. What was
I
that
have
there, Tom?
I have a
Oh, okay.
request for you. I have a request for you, Captain. One of my East Bay Raider fans wants to hook up with you
I heard
before the game.
I heard something about next Thursday, but that's
You know what?
I'm all
I'll
for
call
it.
you. I'll call you. I'll call you.
We'll touch base and we'll get together.
Okay, guys.
Yeah. All
Peace.
right. Take care.
31
Love you all.
31-17, Fester.
All right. I got you. I'm on board with
Okay.
that. All right. Thanks so
Hey,
much.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, I again, I appreciate both of you guys. I really do. I appreciate both of you guys. Sorry about the internet problems.
No problem. No problem. You all take care out there in radio and TV land, and we'll see you all on the backside.
And John, Fester's out. John is locked up. At least I'm seeing him locked up. So I'm not kicking him till he says he's out. But I think he's locked up. Well, Johnny, be sure again. Look for. There you go. Look for at Mad Bomber Podcast, and Tom is at T3 Tom Jones on his shows, and he does fantastic work. Both of these gentlemen are really awesome, and that's why I'm glad that they could spend some time with us today. Raider Way, thank you for popping in again. Sorry about the comms issue, but hey, you didn't need me on the show tonight. Trust me, you had a better show with the gentlemen that were talking good knowledge. So I agree. Great show. It would have been better if I could hear it, but I know that you guys said it was great, so I will do that. So without further ado, I'm going to cut loose and pack up the last of my stuff for tomorrow. So we will see y'all again Sunday night after the game. Good evening, Richie. Apparently some comms issues here in South Carolina. The gentleman that were here was really, literally carrying the show because I popped out. I didn't want to be a bother to not hearing them. At least when there's nobody there. Hopefully you guys can hear me without choppiness, but I don't know. So y'all will have to let me know. But hopefully you guys can will be here. If there's any further things to discuss, I'm watching the Eagles cornerbacks just cannot keep up with the Cowboys receivers. I'm watching the Eagles running game totally demolish the Cowboys front seven and more. So, and I'll put this up. Super interested to see what you do with wide receivers. Hey, honestly, Richie, we were talking about this. If they need a wide receiver, Alex Bachman, who's on their practice squad, who is a veteran and was one of their better performers for the Raiders, they don't need to go outside the organization. They don't. Alex Bachman has been a stalwart for many years. So if they want to have a receiver that is game ready, Alex Bachman is that guy, and so they can bring him up from the practice squad easily. If since you're coming in late, like I said, the fact that Amari Cooper quit on the team again, and I do have a Cooper jersey. Like I said, I need somebody that does, patches or name tape so I can change it. Richie, I disagree. I disagree. If you have a player that knows the plays, that knows the system, that knows he's been in camp for the last several years, he's a Raider. I don't think you need somebody else's depth. Okay, what that's what a practice squad is for. It's for guys that are always there. And unless there is somebody out there that just so appealing, maybe. Remember, Shedrick Jackson, was it Bo's cousin, nephew, is on our practice squad. Kid can fly. Kid is, gritty, is fast. And Matt, I agree with he might be brought back. The fact is that Jackson plays special teams, and Bachman does not. So if you want to have a special teams depth, and again, Cooper was not going to play any special teams, so that they actually get a special team guy with that. But Jackson is raw too. If he's not a rookie, he's like a second-year player out of Auburn. So he's younger. He can play teams. But if you want a receiver that is going to be doing the job as a receiver, I say bring back Alex Bachman. But nobody, the Raiders don't call me on the phone and say, hey, what do you think? They don't do that. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Philadelphia is fourth down on the 40-yard line. I don't know if it's their 40 or the Dallas 40. Looks like it's the Dallas 40, so maybe it'd be a really long field goal. So probably, they are. They're going for a long field goal. And this guy is not the greatest, Elliott, on long boots. So let's see what we got here. Philadelphia is up by 1. The kick is good. Kick is good. Philadelphia 24-20. Rush push on 4th. No, laces out, Dan. All right, Richie, thank you for being here, sir. I'm because I have to be up. I have to be out of this house. This is Hollywood's house. I have to be out of this house at 6:00 in the morning. And all the guys that had kissed him, her, are going, fun. But having said that, again, it's opening weekend. It looks like the Eagles are going to have their way with the Cowboys, but we'll see. There's still some things to go. I'm going to get the rest of my stuff packed, I'm going to be ready to go. And for y'all, take care. We will see you Sunday after the game. And remember, and it is a good game tonight. It is a good game tonight. So glad to have everybody here. Thank you, Richie, for coming in. Thank you, Ed, for definitely safe travels, and hopefully my stomach will. It's the traveling bug. It's the way it is, but we'll see. We'll see how it is, but we'll be there, and I can't wait to be out there for the what do you call it? Opening game. Can't wait to see there. Y'all be there. Yep, JD. I'll see you on Saturday. Out there for the Al Davis event. Are you kidding me? Do they have a rewind here? I'm going to go rewind. Yeah. I have there was a Raider portion with we'll see who was out there. Probably I know Violator was one of those people. But let's see. While we're here, one second. One second here. Okay. I didn't see anybody that I knew. It was real quick, so I didn't see any fans that I knew. So, having said that, time to go night. Y'all take care. We'll see you on Sunday. Take care, everybody. Do the outro.